Bro, it's easier than ever right now to make so much faster progress than your friends. There is no competition right now. Like, I remember when I was first doing the self improvement and trying to go on self development, whatever, I realized there is literally zero competition because you look at people our age, most of them are not developing. How many of your friends do you know that's actively trying to wake up at 5 a.m.? Probably zero, probably very less. How many friends do you know that are actively trying to become more masculine? Probably zero, probably less. You're probably one of the first people in your circle to really do this. Because I remember when I was doing it, I was literally the first one in my circle. None of my friends I saw were focusing on. They saw it as weird, bro. I remember some people were telling me like, "Oh, you're trying to act like Andrew Tate," and I'm just like, "What? Like, can I not just self-develop?" And that was one of my best friends that said it at the time. In a world where we're tired of chasing pleasure all day, I guess some people are just not tired of chasing pleasure. I know me and you are, bro. I know you're tired. I know you're tired of in the situation you're in right now because it freaking sucks. Because you're like, you're about to enter your 20s, you're close to entering 20, you realize you're so weak, you realize you're not on purpose, you realize your life's not going the way you want, and you look out into the world, you look out into the way that people live, and you realize, I don't want to live like that. I'm sure, right? What do you want to go out right now? Let's say you go out to New York City right now and you see 99% of people, without being arrogant, without being offensive, because those people, they're still living their life, and let them live the way they live. But would I want to live like them? Probably not, because I'm someone who wants to live an extraordinary life. I realize that all of this modern day lifestyles, all this modern day BS is it's stupid. Excuse my language. It's stupid. The fact that men are becoming so weak. I don't want to end up in a modern marriage. I don't want to end up in a modern household where the kids don't respect me. Like, I don't want to end up like that. I want to be a strong man as I was, because I'm tired. Because I realized that their entire mission, their entire goal is to make us weak. It's to make us feminine. It's to make us submissive. Oh no, yeah, the wife can go to work as well. The father, the double income household, and then the wife comes home and she bosses you around, huh? The wife comes home and like, yeah, did you do the dishes? I'm like, wait, what the heck? What are you talking? But no, no, no. But it's different because this is the Western lifestyle, and you can't be misogynistic. So in order to make faster progress than your friends and the people around you, without being arrogant, again, let them do whatever they want. But if you want to make faster progress, you're gonna have to remove your ego. You're gonna be like, wait, what do you mean? I have an ego? Yeah, most people have an ego, bro. Most people are too arrogant to take in information. Because if I tell this guy who's in the worst shape of his life, if I tell him, like, oh yeah, all you have to do, by the way, is just eat less food and, be on a calorie deficit and you can lose weight, what is he gonna do? You think he's gonna take my information? No, he's gonna be like, who do you think you are? You go up to your parents, right? And you go up to them and you tell them, oh yeah, mom and dad, like, oh, by the way, like, this is how the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam prayed. Like, this is how he did it. It's different to how we were raised. They're like, but who are you? Like, they wouldn't say that, but like, they have this, like, this guy's little kid, why is he telling me? Despite him having the information, the key, the answer to him praying properly, most people are too arrogant to take in information. Most people are too arrogant to change. That's the blunt truth, bro. They know the answer to their problems. Yeah, they're too arrogant. That's just how it is. I tell them I was down bad. I was so down bad, and the way I changed was I went to the gym. I started getting on my deen. They're gonna have a million different excuses. Why no this? Why this? And they're not gonna take action. Most people know how to get muscle. They know they have to go to the gym consistently, but they won't do it. Why? Why aren't you doing it? Why are you too good for the information? It's arrogance. In order to make progress, you have to humble yourself. Because I realized that in order for me to gain muscle, I need to eat more. But I was like, but I don't want to eat more right now because I look so good right now. Well, you're too arrogant right now, bro. I'm talking to myself. I'm like, Mahi, like, you're too arrogant. If you want to get muscle, well, you're gonna have to humble yourself. You're gonna have to go on a bulk. And even if you look a little fat, a little chubby, which you're probably not gonna look that fat. Like, I'm bulking right now. I'm at the highest bulk I've ever been. Do I look that fat? No. Of course, I can see the chubbiness on my face right now. But when I did, I was like, nah, but I don't wanna. That's arrogance, right? And I remember one day I was like, realized, no, I gotta do it. I need to eat. I remember one day I was like, my friends, they could see myself getting fatter. They can see I'm losing my jawline, and one of them, like, he's like, yo, Mahi, you're actually losing your jawline. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I gotta do it. And then another friend's like, man, respect to Mahi, bro. I could never do it. I could never gain weight like that, because people could see the change in my face. Like, they can see that I look uglier and fatter. But I know what the future is holding for me, bro. I know that I'm gonna sacrifice my ego now. I'm gonna sacrifice everything now so that my future self is gonna be more successful, bro. I need to humble myself. I need to humble myself so my future self can be more successful. That is the change that me and you need to adopt. You know what's crazy? I'm gonna show you right now. Do you see that? Boom, I'll just take it off. I buzz my hair. I look like Nico Bellic from GTA 4. I look like a GTA character, but I decided I need to humble myself. So I buzz my hair. I buzz my hair while I'm in the highest bulk, so my face is chubby, but I buzz my hair. Because I needed to force myself to win. I needed to force myself to actually work. And do you know how I feel right now? I feel hungry. I feel ballistic. I feel like working all day. Because I need to make it out now. Because this forced me to lock in. This forced me to go and do something with my life. I couldn't stay comfortable. It's ego that changes us. It's ego that ruins us. It's ego that is distracting us. Oh no, if I have hair right now, I'm gonna try to attract more women. Astaghfirullah. If I have hair right now, more women are gonna look at me. It's a distraction. Now I know that no woman's gonna look at me in public. I don't have to act different. I'm just gonna go and grind. I'm literally living in my own world. This is the definition of locking in. Because when I walk around in public, I'm not trying to please other people, because I know there's no point on pleasing other people. When I'm walking around in public, I'm just getting from point A to point B. I'm in my little zone. I'm in my locking in zone. This is the time I'm gonna make the most progress because I have zero distraction to distract me with. That is the secret. This is it. I'm not saying that you need to go buzz your hair. I'm not saying you need to do this, but you need to humble yourself. And so the way you do that is look at what you have, right? And ask yourself, am I really, pushing so hard in this thing? Am I bulking? Even though I know that I need to gain muscle, I know I need to bulk. Am I really eating? Am I really bulking, or am I too scared? Are you running away from something? Am I too scared? And I want to ask you, wouldn't it be better if you just forced yourself to grind and to work? If you forced yourself to lock in without any distraction, how much better would your life be? Wouldn't your life be so much better? Wouldn't you be making so much more progress if you forced yourself, if you told yourself, whatever, I don't care what they think about me, I'm gonna go and take the action. I'm gonna go bulk even if I look fat, because you know what the future is holding. Of course, you don't know the future, but you have a plan. Inshallah ta'ala, in the future, I'm gonna be so much bigger. I'm gonna be so much more attractive. But we're young men. We don't need to look the best right now. This is not our best years. Our best years are when we're 26, 28. This is a time to build ourselves and to grind and to work. If a person like me, who self-sabotaged so much, who played video games for 13 hours a day, Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox for 13 hours a day, who watched anime, who was so weak and feminine the way I spoke, oh my god, but I couldn't. If a person like me could make such a change, you can also do it. You can do it too. All it requires from you is to take action. All it requires from you is to take the leap and just trust in Allah's qadr and just take the leap in action and to change. All it requires from you is to leave your comfort zone behind for at least a couple months, because you're going to make the most progress that you've probably will ever make. But in a world where we're so weak right now, you have this crazy opportunity to make so fast progress right now that you're gonna miss out if you don't. That's the blunt truth. So right now you might be wondering, bro, what steps do I take? What do I actually do? And I remember this one time, bro, I was trying to start a business, but then I was going from business model to business model. I was like most people where I was just searching up, what businesses do I do, all this, right? The secret to me locking down in at least one business was the first time when I bought a copywriting course from Andrew Tate. And I bought that course with all the money that I had. So did you think I'm gonna buy that course and then just go on YouTube and watch videos about business models? No, that's the moment I forced myself. That's the moment I forced myself to lock down on copywriting, to learn copywriting. That's the moment, because I spent money. I can't waste this money that I spent. So that's why I started locking down on copywriting. And yet, I didn't get a single client for 9 months. But with the copywriting tips and the skills that I learned from copywriting, I got a video editing client that paid me $1,000 in 1 month, bro. $1,000 as a 18-year-old who never made money in business before. For me, that's life-changing money. For me, that was crazy money. With the permission of Allah, it's from Allah. But you know what's crazy? If I hadn't locked down on the copywriting, I wouldn't have achieved that. If I didn't lock down and I stayed in the course and I stayed in the fence about everything, I wouldn't have gone and made that $1,000 with the permission of Allah. It's because I persevered and I locked in and I forced myself, because I spent money on this thing to change, that I'm gonna change. The issue is right now we aren't in the deep end, and we need to be in the deep end in one way, shape, or form. If you're chubbier right now, well, best believe you gotta get big, otherwise you're gonna stay chubby. So you have to change. The bulk is gonna help you stay in the deep end. If that's buzzing your hair, look at my hair, bro. It's gonna help you stay in the deep end. but we need to get into the deep end. We need to be in the battlefield, in the deep battlefield, working and fighting. That's what we need to be, and that's where we'll make the most progress. And that's when you're gonna, in 6 months, 7 months, be unrecognizable. That's when you're gonna walk into your school and you're gonna be so much more mature. That's when your friends are gonna notice. That's when people are gonna notice, yo, Mahi changed. Oh, yo, this guy changed, bro. What's happening with this guy? That's what they're gonna say about you. The reason why we haven't been making those changes before, I know you tried doing those like changes where you thought, oh yeah, it's summer break right now, meaning that when I get back to school next semester, everyone's gonna think I'm different. And then you go back next semester, everyone still treats you like a child, and everyone still treats you like a, like, well, the guy. No one treats you with like the respect like those people in school get, those cool kids in school, how people look up to them. Wow, they're so cool. No one treats you like that, even though you tried. That's because you haven't done anything to lock in. That's because you haven't pushed yourself into the deep end. That's why, bro. You need to do something. Whether that's waking up at 5 a.m. And I know personally in my life and in the people I know, in my personal brotherhood, in the Muslim tribe, if you've ever checked that out before, in there's people that are in the deep end as well. In there, I'm trying to make a system right now where we can get our Muslim brothers inside the community just to lock in. Bro, whether that's getting them to wake up before Fajr, and then helping them just get dialed in on their goals, looking at their day, looking at what's distracting them, and trying to remove those distractions so they're in the deep end. That's how you can make such fast progress. So if you're interested in joining the brotherhood as well, we're more than happy to have you. It's a place where Muslim brothers are becoming the most disciplined version of themselves in just 30 days, and we're helping them get as much progress as possible in 30 days towards their goals and remove their bad habits and just to level up. And our entire mission is to have an entire group, an entire brotherhood of Muslim brothers that are high achieving, right? And this is what we say, high achieving Muslims, bro. So if you're interested, we're more than happy to have you inside. Other than that, bro, I love you for the sake of Allah. Let's take some action, and inshallah ta'ala, I'll see you at the top. Assalamu alaikum, bro.